And then we come over to this side, and this side is just absolutely gross with talent. And a lot of these guys are Count Basie's guys, right? Or Duke Ellington's guys. Ellington was invited and he declined. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out why. Did he have to wash his hair? Did he have another? I don't know. But we're still looking into that. But over there is just ridiculous. You've got the best rhythm section of all time with Basie, Green, Page, and wait. Yeah, Freddie Green. Count Basie, Freddie Green, Walter Page. Who am I missing? Count Basie, Walter Page, Freddie Green, and Joe Jones. Oh, that's right, Joe was not there. We had the best rhythm section other than Joe Jones, right? Again, just a who's who of personnel playing this evening. When we talked about the racial tensions, the integrated band, we talked about leading up to the concert. So leading up to the concert, Benny Goodman was filming a movie called Hollywood Hotel. Is anyone familiar with Hollywood Hotel? Do we know Hell's Poppin'? Okay, next on the list, groovy movie. Followed by an array of awesome clips, including Hollywood Hotel, also including Buck Privates. There's a full array of amazing dance clips. Hollywood Hotel has a lot of the band being showcased, playing Sing 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 amongst others. And those are available on YouTube. You can see just the clips, you don't have to rent the movie. But what's interesting is that it was an integrated band. You had Teddy Wilson, who was black, playing piano. Lionel Hampton, black, playing vibes. Benny Goodman, Gene Krupa, white. Right? And so that movie, along with Hell's a Poppin', was created in a way that movie houses could, if they wanted to, literally cut the movie, cut that scene out, and scotch tape it together, and no one would be the wiser. The Hell's a Poppin', that scene was cut out because it was showcasing blacks having fun and not in service. So there was movie theaters in the South like snip, snip, burn it, Billy, and then just tape it together and off you go, right? So again, racial tensions, not great, thus signifying how valuable this concert was. It would also become the best-selling live jazz album ever, because it was recorded, to which we have some songs. So we're going to listen to the first song in the program, Don't Be That Way. And this is actually live from Carnegie Hall. So it sounds good, but it's really tight, right? They're playing their notes, they're going, and they're just almost robotic about it. That's because half of them were starstruck white, like just pasty white coming out onto the stage. Because there's 2,800 plus, about 3,000 people, 2,900, something like that, people sitting down, watching you play at a venue you never thought you would play, that has never been host to this, right? This is heavy, right? And this is where we get this wonderful quote from Harry James, who said, "I felt like a whore in church." Supposedly he's credited with that. My dad used to say that. It's not really, it's out of favor these days. But supposedly Harry James was the first guy that we quoted saying that. You know, it was like, you know, you can just imagine yourself like walking out on stage and you're in the most fearful place you can ever imagine yourself. If that's with spiders or snakes or babies or, you know, I don't know what, right? They're all the same, by the way. Spiders, snakes, and babies. All the same species. Hey. Hey. So we're going to fast forward and we're going to listen to, this is Honeysuckle Rose. And this is an excellent, excellent track. Really, really beautiful. And this was done to showcase an improvised jam that was pre-scheduled and planned, right? Again, 20th anniversary jazz. We're celebrating all these different things that jazz does. What do? People show up in a bar and they start playing, right? They have a thing. It is a jam. This is 16 minutes of just beautiful music, right? However, the funny thing is the recording, depending on what you get, can cut all the way down to 8 minutes. Because the recording was found in Benny Goodman's attic 20 years later. And she was like, you know, what's this? Right? He's like, hey, maybe we should sell it. Right? And so then they were like, well, you know, it doesn't sound that good. So we're going to cut this part, cut that part. So they chopped up this song. And then they put it out there. And then people were like, well, where's the rest of the concert? Right? Where's like the audience applause track and like this song? Like, where's the rest of the program? All right, well, here's that. Well, yeah, but there's a whole thing missing. Like, in this song, it's actually literally gone. Well, yeah, but there's an artifact, a defect. Like, we don't care. We'll listen through the defect. We want to hear it in its entirety. So there's actually a 2-disc set. It's got a purple cover on it where you get every single note that was played ever at the Carnegie Hall show, right? Including 16 minutes of Honeysuckle Rose. And it is absolutely worth it. We're going to listen to another song. This is Swing Time in the Rockies. And what I enjoy most about giving these lectures and talking in music is there's stories. So while I'm hammering home, it's January 16th, 1938, this is probably the only lecture where I really do that. I've been doing this for over 20 years, giving lectures all around the world, talking about music. I don't care when Benny Goodman was born. I can barely tell you because he was born in Chicago, I think, right? That's right, awesome. 2 points for me, right? So I love the stories. And stories are great because it talks about the passion of the music, not necessarily technically what happened. So this is a story of Swing Time in the Rockies. Swing Time in the Rockies, this track identifies one of the moments in which the band woke up. And you can really hear it in the song. There's a moment where you're like, oh, I get it. Like, I can hear a change in the energy, the vibe of the band. It starts off tight, ba, ba, ba. And then by the end, they're like, ba, ba. The notes just get bigger and wider for some weird mythical reason. Right? I'm not a musician, nor do I play one on TV, so that's why it's a mythical reason. And the cool thing is that you can also, at the very end, what I love best about this track, and it always gives me goosebumps, literally, is Ziggy Elman on trumpet, playing over the band. So, let's see if we can get. So this is a G group on drums with Benny, there's Lionel Hampton in the foreground. Right, this would be him right here, Benny and Gene. Gene was a very animated character. These right here are people. They've got stage seats. They added 100 seats on the stage, and we're getting to action. So this is actually the Carnegie Hall stage. You can sit in here, you can sit in here. There's a microphone up here. And rumored to be a second microphone, like an announcement microphone. And then there's one singular boom mic sitting somewhere over here. And a boom mic is a mic that hangs from the ceiling and has all the fur around it and stuff, right? And it would hang over the band, right? And thus giving you the whole band's sound, right? These days, they've got a microphone on every single one of their instruments. They have it on each one of their punchers. Every single drum has it. You can hear a cricket fart, right? It's absolutely insane. Tonight we don't have to worry about that because it's a nice venue, we can hear them live. Not very little mic, right? But I'm saying all this because you're gonna hear Ziggy Elman on trumpet playing above the shout chorus. And not in a way that is loud or terrifying, but in a way that is, he's playing fuller. He's playing with more oomph. And there's a quote that goes along with it. Let's see here. So during this track, all of a sudden, blasting like hell, riding on high out of the ancient alcoves, comes Ziggy Elman with a trumpet passage that absolutely broke everything up. And absolutely it did. And we're gonna listen to that right now. Once, if not twice. Because it's that beautiful. So the very beginning, very tight, right? Not much passion, soul. So after this sax section here, Benny Goodman's gonna come in, right, with Gene. And what you're gonna hear is what essentially sounds like Gene Krupa on drums going, come on man, let's get there, come on man. And like encouraging him and pushing him forward. And Benny like, all right, I got this, all right. And then he like gets amped up into it. And then that's when everything just kind of breaks open.